I just saw a video the other day. Now, the source is Dr. Phil, so take that as you will. But he was talking about, too, even this whole political debate and this climate we're in right now, and was saying statistics have shown, whoever studied this and gathered the statistics, that even if you are serving someone facts, actual researched, proven facts about something, if it goes against what they want to believe and where they already are in their opinions and beliefs, it will actually sway them to dive deeper into what they are already wanting to believe if you give them facts.
Yeah,
like to the contrary. It's like, okay, so you think this, but here's a whole laundry list of things as to why you're wrong, and this is proof that you are wrong, and all they will do is dig their heels in more and want to go more into what they believe. And I'm like, that's insane. How childish are we that we have now become so used to just wanting to be, like, I call it right fighters, that's his term too, instead of saying, oh, wow, I did not know that. I hadn't considered that. Let me look at it this way. Let me start considering other things. It's like,
that's important. Like that objectivity, when you don't have a decision already made and you're curious to see if the new information enters into it and how you want to decide, right? Mm-hmm. And mostly we have curiosity in that department. But when we're playing these team politics where it's immense amount of tribalism, you're trying to, if somebody throws information out there, you want to destroy that information. You're not curious about where it enters in.
Yeah.
It's an evil that you need to get rid of.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, now you're going to just start fighting those and trying to find reasons to justify why you shouldn't listen to those facts or anything, instead of just swallowing the pride for a minute and consider the fact that you may have missed something, that something isn't what you thought it was, and just like get over the ego to consider that. I think is so hard for people, impossible for some.
But part of the logic in problem solving is if you have a responsibility, let's just say you're good at one thing and I'm good at the other. We can both objectively decide when a situation or a problem hits us, who should be dealing with that problem, who's the best natured to be able to make that. I don't think many or most humans actually should be making any decisions that are important. They need to have people and things that help them decide things that will not be detrimental to themselves or other people. Mm. And so that lack of objectivity, you don't want a person like that ever solving a problem with you. If they decide, like, and some of it's selfish reasons, and when we get off of virtue and we go all vice, it's self-serving. So you're looking out for your interests. So if you want to go to an amusement park, right? Mm-hmm. And I want to go to, I don't know, a museum. Right? Amusement park versus museum. You're interested in the where we should go having an end already defined, right? Mm-hmm. So you're going to argue for the amusement park, and when what we should do is sit down and say, which one is best right now, right? Which can we afford? Which one's closer? Like, take all the considerations in deciding, and not having where we decide built into your defenses. So if our goal is to come to a conclusion that's objective, it might be either one, and I'm okay with either one. Let's figure out which is best for the right now. But you can't trust that the other people that you're disagreeing with or having a conversation with can objectively come to a different conclusion than when you decided to solve the problem.
Yeah.
So especially like if you're a scientist, right? And if you come to one conclusion, you're going to make $1 million. And if you come to another conclusion, you're going to make $0, and you're still going to have to, get all of your money from research paper publications. So now when you're devising what conclusion you come to, how many people would you trust to come to the conclusion that might be accurate, but you don't get any money from, versus the one where it's going to be a payday? And and it's not just money. It could be power. It could be, relation. It could be all kinds of different reasons. But how many principled people would thwart their own interests for the greater good?
Oh, yeah. People. I mean, again, this is another subject I feel like we somehow always end up on. But when it comes to things like our health and our food right now and the way that things are presented to us, we're fed all this information about things that are perceived as healthy that are not, because businesses can make so much money on that. Now, are they ever going to say, hey, look, we actually advertised this product and we really pushed it out there and we said it was healthy, and then we realized, you know what, it's really not good for you. You should probably not eat that, and we're going to get rid of the product. Hell no, that's never going to happen.
Well, is it is business responsibility to not just give you what you're after? Should they be an arbiter of things that are good for you? Who's the pressure, right? That should help you make better decisions. It comes down to you. Like, you are the main arbiter.
I mean, for sure, I think you're the main arbiter. You should make your healthy decisions. I would like to see more transparency, and so you know
what would you if you, because companies are just made up of human beings.
Yeah.
If personally we can forego personal enrichment for the sake of their greater good, if we're making those kind of decisions in our daily lives, then I would say, sure, that's so ingrained in our culture and civilization that it would be easy to see that someone in a company would feel those same principles as well. But if you and I aren't following those, why do we expect a company who's built of people just like you and I to do the opposite of what we would do? It makes no logical sense.
Like, kind of like, I want you all to have morals and do the right thing and be transparent, but am I going to be all the time?
No, not at all. So the scientist who writes the research paper that gets the $1 million, you're going to be mad at him because you didn't benefit from it.
Yeah.
You were hurt by it. You were a victim of that person wanting more, right? By just telling a little bit of a slanted truth, right?
Yeah.
Marketing does that. Politics does that. Everything does it because the truth is simple, right? We are fallible. And we need things to stop us from acting in our impulses. Our instincts are always going to tell us what we want rather than what we should have. Always, and it's always going to get us in trouble. And that's the premise of every good religion, is to keep people skewing on the side of, I'm going to sacrifice a little bit of what I want for what I should have.
We need something to save us from ourselves.
What would Joe do? That's what we need.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm getting a bracelet.
If you do it, I will mass produce those suckers.
I mean, we already have WWJD bracelets. Just write OE next to it.
Is this blasphemous? I think it is.
I was just going to say that.
I think it is.
I was just going to say, how much flack are we going to get? Like, blasphemy, what are you doing?
The more flack, the better.